So you have a workers' compensation claim. First thing you need to know is that Colorado has a great many rights that a worker has for workers' compensation, and that those rights actually can be very lucrative. The other thing you need to know is that it doesn't matter whether you contributed even a little bit or entirely to how you got injured. If you were working and you were acting within the course and scope of your employment and you get injured, you are automatically entitled to workers' compensation benefits. But you have to file for it, and you have to do that within 2 years. Secondly, what are you entitled to? Well, the best benefit the workers' compensation provides is unlimited medical care. Your medical care, even if it's going to take $1 million or more, needs to be paid for by the workers' compensation insurance. The next thing you need to know is that while you're injured and cannot work, say, you're entitled to wage benefits. Those are called temporary total disability benefits, which usually amounts to 2/3 of your average weekly wage. Now, that average weekly wage that we're talking about and the money you get, temporary total disability, you don't pay tax on that. So if you think about 2/3 of your average weekly wage, but you're not paying state, federal, FICA tax, it ends up working out usually for most folks to be about the same as their take-home pay. And once you've reached what's called maximum medical improvement, where there's nothing therapeutically they can do more for you, the insurance company for workers' compensation is supposed to send you to a doctor who's going to make a determination as to what your permanent physical impairment might be. Are you any different than you were before? Are you back to where you were, in which case you have a 0 rating? Or are you impaired in some regard? When doctors do that evaluation, it's called an AMA Guides impairment evaluation, and it will nearly always equate, whenever you have an impairment, to money, and it can actually be a sizable award. When you hear folks tell you, I settled my workers' compensation case, oftentimes that isn't the case. Many times they actually haven't settled anything. You're simply given the rights and money that you'd be entitled to under our workers' compensation laws. But there is also a possibility to settle your case, because under our workers' compensation laws, you have many, many years that you can come back and request additional benefits if your condition worsens. That's kind of the insurance aspect of workers' compensation insurance. Some folks end up saying, look, it makes more sense for me to settle with a cash award now and give up those rights. And under the right circumstances, that may be okay. And those can also be quite lucrative. So workers' compensation is a whole system unto itself, and it has a bunch of rights and a bunch of things that you have that protect you. And certainly, if you have a workers' compensation claim, you should definitely bone up on your rights. And there are attorneys, lots of attorneys, who can help